listening to Tuff Tiger Talk Flash Report.
All right, shout out to the fam, man. Appreciate y'all joining us for this episode of Tuff Tiger Talk. I am Big Q chiming in with you on this episode of Tuff Tiger Talk. We got a bunch of stuff we're going to talk about on this broadcast tonight. Y'all, please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and by all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. We up in this thing, man, talking about the LSU Tigers. Let's get right into the report, man. We've heard for some time about different things going on with the Tigers as we move into it. Coach Lane Kiffin came in, established much of his coaching staff, really handled well with the signing day period. We look forward to the transfer portal and all the things that can happen. So with new players potentially coming in, there are always a crop of guys that are also leaving. And that's what we'll talk about in part on this episode. Shout out to Sports Illustrated on Tiger Talk, LSU football transfer portal tracker. And this is a few things we're going to talk about here. As you can see, Zach Nagy, shout out to him with the scoop on this one, that LSU continues working behind the scenes this month as Kiffin introduced his staff, then moved right in. But LSU flipped five-star signees. Kiffin and co. dominated last week after making a statement in the recruiting scene. Now all eyes on Coach Kiffin, man, moving forward for roster reconstruction and getting this team ready to play some high-brand college football, man, LSU style. So all eyes on this program. So the transfer portal is up next in January. And, of course, Coach Kiffin is known as the transfer portal king, as he's coined. And we'll see if he can work his magic. But let's take a look at some of the departures right now. LSU transfer portal departures. It's wide receiver Kalen Billiard. So we know Billiard is expected to enter that transfer portal. This was officially opens in January. This is according to On3 Sports. They did mention that about Billiard, that four-star prospect in 2024's recruiting class, signed with the Tigers. Is one of the top prospects out of the state of Louisiana. He is unable to crack the rotation, and across 2 seasons with LSU, Billiard saw playing time in 1 game. Now, after 2 years with the Bayou Bengals, Billiard went into the transfer portal with 3 seasons of eligibility remaining. So he's one of the guys that'll be going out, and he's held offers from the likes of Georgia Tech, Tulane, as well as Memphis. Number 2, Jelani Watkins, is another one plans to enter the transfer portal in 2 seasons. He was a redshirt freshman with the Tigers, in 5 games across 2 years with the program, where he compiled just 2 catches for 21 yards. He's a Texas native and a 4-star prospect of the 2024 recruiting class. He's also a guy looking out to move. Cornerback Ashton Stamps. This is one that I really was kind of a little sad about, because I thought this kid had potentials. But LSU cornerback Ashton Stamps is set to officially into the transfer portal after stepping away from the program in October. He revealed via social media on Monday. Stamps, who earned significant reps and snaps during fall camp leading into this season, dropped down the depth chart after the regular season with Virginia Tech transfer. And Sue Delaney really kind of stepped in that thing and really handled the business. Also, 5-star freshman DJ Pickett was really big, and sophomore standout PJ Woodland. Those guys stepped up and formed an excellent trio in the secondary. So Louisiana native started in all 13 games as a sophomore in 2024, where he emerged as the program's go-to guy at the position. And then one of the biggest ones, man, in the transfer portal, departures is Ahmad Bro, right? Former coveted Louisiana prospect coming out of high school, signed with the program in the 2024 recruiting cycle and earned meaningful reps as a true freshman. Across that 2024 season, Bro tallied 17 tackles, 1.5 tackles for loss, where he also earned a pair of starts against the UCLA Bruins and the South Alabama Jags. Fast forward to this season, Bro logged in 19 tackles, a half a sack, along with a talented defensive front that was made up of Bernard Gooden, Dominic McKinley, and Tank Guillory, among others. Now, after appearing in 24 games across 2 seasons in Baton Rouge, the former top 25 prospect will enter the portal with 2 years of eligibility remaining. Cornerback Wallace Foster enters that transfer portal. He would depart the program after 2 years, according to multiple reports. Now, Foster is a former top 100 cornerback was listed as a 3-star recruit with offers from a myriad of different schools prior to signing with LSU in that cycle. Across 2 seasons in BR, Foster appeared in 3 total games where he logged in just 1 tackle. Now the Louisiana native is set to hit that portal in search of a new home. He's 5'10", 175, and earned offers from the likes of Florida, Florida State, Arkansas, and Miami coming out of high school. So just a few things right here. A couple of the guys that we're looking at leaving via the transfer portal. So Much love to those guys. Appreciate their contributions. And man, listen, let's just keep it and see where we can go from here. This is the next one. LSU football recruiting five prospects. Lane Kiffin can't afford to miss. Shout out to Will Rosenblatt over at the LSU Wire. He mentions in a very good article about what prospects Coach Kiffin could pinpoint in on, right? The transfer portal king. Lane Kiffin's first signing period over. Tigers finished on a high note, officially signing five-star Lamar Brown, love it. Four-star defensive tackle Deuce Gerald, love it. Four-star defensive tackle Trenton Henderson, love it. Despite the name, the early signing period, most major programs nearly finalized the 2026 recruiting classes. Not many prospects remain on the board for traditional signing day. LSU ranks number 11th in the country according to Rivals. Tigers have 14 comments, including 2 5-stars. Kiffin and crew did an excellent job. Now the recruiting staffers will turn their attention to this next year's class. LSU to make a statement will be Kiffin's first full cycle as the LSU's coach. It's another loaded year within the state of Louisiana, giving LSU a chance to contend for the number 1 class. So who could be up there? 5-star quarterback Elijah Havens has already and LSU has a QB commitment. Peyton Houston pledged to the Tigers, but LSU has a 5-star QB in its own backyard. According to 24/7 Sports and ESPN, Havens is the top-ranked quarterback in the class. LSU lost momentum in Havens' recruiting over the last few months, but with a new staff, LSU could begin to pick up some steam again. Alabama, Florida, Penn State were making a run at Havens. Haven earlier this year, like LSU, Florida, and Penn State, both underwent head coaching changes, so that kind of shakes things up. The stability at Alabama could make the team to beat for Haven, as the case with LSU prospect. Is not over until it's over. 2-star defensive end Zyron Foster, how about him, was a New Orleans product before transferring to IMG Academy in Florida. For purposes, we will count Foster as a Louisiana recruit. Did a good job cleaning up Louisiana 5-stars in 2026. LSU did, signing Brown and Richard Anderson. According to ESPN, Foster is the number 4th overall ranked player in that class and the number 1 defensive end. With LSU gets the chance to land a player of this caliber with deep ties to Louisiana, they can't miss on this one. USC is his favorite, per what Rivals is telling us, with a 45.4% chance to land the DE, but LSU will make a strong push. How about a third one? 5-star wide receiver Easton Royal. Royal is a wideout from New Orleans. He recently committed to Texas. Rival slot Royal as the number 5th ranked player in the entire country and the number 1 overall wide receiver in the class. Given LSU's history with wide receivers in Louisiana, it would hurt tremendously to see him leave the state, especially to go to Texas. Royce projects to be a dynamic playmaker at the next level. LSU doesn't want to watch Royal leave for Texas only to come back and make plays versus the Tigers in Death Valley. Now, Lane Kiffin and staff will work hard to try to flip this 5-star wide receiver over the next year. Number 4, 5-star tight end Ahmad Houston, right? Hudson is a 5-star tight end from Ruston. The Rivals predict him in LSU having a 96% chance of landing him. Right, 24/7 Sports rank Hudson as the number 10th overall prospect. He's dynamic, athletic, ranks top 100 as a basketball recruit too. Top tight end, let's go after him. And of course, we need some offensive line help. How about 5-star inside linebacker Albert Simeon? Rivals and ESPN both rank Mr. Simeon as the number 1 interior offensive lineman in the class of 2026. Simeon has made multiple visits to LSU, but Rivals prediction machine doesn't have the Tigers in the driver's seat. They have Texas A&M there, right, with a 66% chance to land him. Now, LSU is shaking up the coaching staff. That means the Tigers will make a change at the offensive line coach. Kiffin is yet to officially announce who will lead the position, but landing Simeon will be a top priority for the Tigers' new offensive line mentor. That is something we have to pay attention to. These are 5 potential targets that will definitely make LSU look different in terms of the recruiting process and could help elevate and compel things a little faster than we anticipate. All right, how about this one? Lane Kiffin, LSU football coach, labeled to land elite transfer quarterback. Let's get into it. All right, shout out to MSN via Tiger Wire. They mentioned it, that Coach Kiffin preparing for the transfer portal. Another guy is popping up there, as we know this, and then going to the transfer portal, which I've seen zero concern about the interest of players with that, because I know what the interest was on players nationally to come and play for us. So we're just at that. Now, when you put that this stadium with that logo, I mean, makes me want to go on the phone right now. But the portal is not open, Kiffin said. And he said that during his presser. Now, there's a new name in the transfer portal that will likely certainly be one of the most coveted quarterbacks in the market. Who is it? Mr. Sam Levitt, right? And this is right here by the tweet by Anthony that is mentioning Arizona State quarterback Sam Levitt enters the transfer portal. Remember, we struck gold on another transfer from Arizona State. You guys know who that is. Could we strike gold again? Well, Arizona State signal call is officially out at the quarterback position for the Sun Devils after revealing his intention to depart the program and into the portal once it comes open on January the 2nd. Levitt didn't play the full length of this season due to injuries, but managed to finish with over 1,600 yards and 10 touchdowns. He threw 3 interceptions while also rushing for over 300 yards and 5 touchdowns. So, but this is a money year, right? So Levitt initially began his career at Michigan State, where he threw 23 passes, but then made the move to transfer to Arizona State. From there, he became a full-time starter, throwing for over 2,800 yards and 24 touchdowns as the Sun Devils reached the college football playoff last season. LSU are a top landing spot for Levitt, according to CFPHQ on Sports Illustrated. Now, Lane Kiffin needs a new QB1. While he could get Trinidad Chambliss, that's the word on the street, that Trinidad Chambliss could possibly transfer to follow Lane Kiffin, because the early reports was that's what they wanted to do. Of course, Ole Miss wants to keep him there, but word is he wants to go with Kiffin. So we'll see if that all handles out. Or Austin Simmons, either one of those guys. Remember, Austin Simmons was putting in work too until Chambliss took over, but you might get one or the other. We'll see. It might be easier to just go for Levitt, according to what they're saying. Simmons have shown flashes of talent, but hasn't really produced at the college level, while Levitt has, football experience, college football playoff experience under his belt. Running a high-priced, high-powered LSU attack would likely be attractive to any quarterback, especially one where Levitt have an opportunity to run a Lane Kiffin offense, right? So once again, Lane and Co. searching for QB or 2 once the transfer portal officially opens up on business. That's January the 2nd, and it runs for up until January the 16th. So a lot of moving and shaking will be going on in there. What do you guys think about Levitt as your potential quarterback, right? You never know how this thing could flip and fold. All right, let's keep it going, man. How about this one right here, man? What does the future of LSU coach Frank Wilson, what is his future? What does the future hold for him? Wilson says the conversation with Lane Kiffin about roles are ongoing and decision be made after the bowl game, right? This is going to be interesting. I've heard that Coach Frank wants to stay. He said that, during the press conference when he found out they hired Lane Kiffin as the new coach, and he wants to be on his staff. Now, of course, we heard Coach Kiffin talk about him, but then again, there could be a guy that Kiffin's bringing from Ole Miss. This stuff is still fluid. So I think a lot of stuff will be kind of hashed out late December when we find out does Frank still have a job or will have a job on the new staff. So both Frank Wilson and Lane Kiffin know each other from a better part of about 16 years. They worked together at Tennessee back in 2009. So he knows the football mind and the kind of coach that LSU is getting with Kiffin. Wilson said Kiffin has been around the building early in the morning and late at night, communicating, evaluating. Everyone comes in contact with him. That includes his current staff, where there will be many who will be staying beyond these next several weeks on defense, and many who will not be retained, mainly on the offensive side of the ball. Wilson himself has had conversations with Coach Kiffin about the future, what it holds for him, but those decisions have not been agreed upon and are to be made following the Texas Bowl matchup we have lined up. He said, we have had conversations for me and Coach Kiffin. Let's play this game on the 27th, and we'll go into details later. We just want to finish what we started with this football team, with the team of 2025. Give them the undivided attention before the transition happens. So then nothing will necessarily happen in that regard. There will be opportunity there. Where that lies, I'm not sure, but the priority is our current football team. This is what Coach Wilson said on Tuesday. The role could look like for Coach Frank remains to be determined, because Coach Kiffin brought in a lot of his former offensive staff from Oxford, so many of whom are coaching the Rebels through the playoffs right now. Kevin Smith is the running back coach for Ole Miss, right? Now, he wasn't on the plane from Oxford to Baton Rouge a few weeks ago, and there's still a little bit of uncertainty as to whether he will be officially one of those guys. So that obviously plays a factor in what Wilson's role will be with the program. It could potentially look like going into the future. So we'll have to see. All the coaches, whether they're staying or leaving, are preparing for this 2025 team. The last game against the Houston Cougars on December the 27th. This is not a new position for Wilson, who's coached during a coaching transition without really knowing whether or not he'll be back the following year. So we'll see. What do you guys think? Do you think that Frank Wilson will remain on the team? I'm not mad at him if they do keep Coach Frank. I think Coach Frank's a good coach. He recruits well, and we'll see what Coach Kiffin says about that. All right, and what I got finally for you is how about a little Ed Orgeron for you, right? Coach O, Ed spills the tea on LSU football. Lane Kiffin job offer with the mysterious program. Let me play Coach O for you straight up and down so you can hear him for yourself. Here we go.
To me, he called last year. He had called. He was going to get a job, and he wanted to know if I wanted to go. I said, you know what? I'm not ready to do that. I'm with my boys. I got 3 boys coaching right now, and I'm still in the process of getting them going with a solid foundation.
Mm-hmm.
He had called. He said, what do you think about LSU? And I gave him nothing but great reviews. It never came through he never called me and say, hey, you want to come? I never called him and say, I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
He knew I was going. I was planning on going back and coaching. Would LSU been a good fit with him? I think so, yes. But, as a head coach, when you go into a situation like that, you got to feel out the lay of the land, and you got to do what's best for you. So he's got his defensive staff. He hadn't called me, which is good. I wish him the best of luck.
What are your thoughts when him being 11-1 at Ole Miss and making a switch to LSU, knowing that you've been in both? You've been in both of those worlds.
Yeah.
Is it just that much more of a premier job than Ole Miss? Because again, it's like you're in the business to win a national title. You can win one this year. And you're going to take going in with LSU trying to I want to go win a national title in the future. It's like, man, you could win right now.
When you're at LSU, you can play with Georgia and Alabama on a consistent basis because you have a fertile recruiting ground. I don't know if he feels like he could do that at Ole Miss and told me. But you can go. There's Justin Jefferson. There's Jamar Chase. There's Malik Neighbors within 2 hours driving distance of each other, and 3 of the most prolific NFL receivers.
All right, that's Coach O. Good to hear from old Coach O. Chilling with the fines look, the blue jeans, white shirt, and the leather jacket. Shout out to Coach O talking. It's edition. But yeah, it's obvious why Coach Kiffin decided to come to LSU is because of the resources, man. It was a chart that they put up online that I seen where they had 5 or 6 categories. And they talked about national championships. They talked about conference championships. They talked about wins and all this kind of stuff. Some of the more important things comparing Ole Miss and LSU throughout the years, and it wasn't even close. So when you're looking at a coach that basically is larger than the program, which is what Lane Kiffin is, if he stayed there, he would have became, a legendary coach in that regard to Ole Miss. We've seen some of these other programs get, like you get a Kirby Smart, or you get a Dabo Sweeney, or you get a Nick Saban, and the guy just becomes a football god in that town. They don't really have anything else going on there except for that. And Kiffin became bigger, I think, than the program. He's not bigger than LSU. He doesn't have a championship. He's coming here to earn a championship. He doesn't have it as a head coach, that is. And this is the challenge, to have the resources, have the big stage, the big platform, and not only that, but the pressure. I think Lane Kiffin kind of thrives in having the pressure. You can see he's kind of a nervous guy, moving back and forth, wants to challenge himself. Not mad at it at all. This is a huge risk for him to come to LSU and try to get that dub. But here we're about the business of winning, and we will get on you. We will celebrate you and acknowledge you. You do well, and we will literally thrash you, figuratively and literally, when you do not do what you need to do. So, like I said, but shout out to Coach O. That's what he was talking about there. And I think Coach Kiffin is still laying out the rest of his staff and is doing a pretty good job early on, man. So, that is what it is. So anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. Y'all feel free to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share Tuff Tiger Talk on your social media feed. I'm Big Q, representing the mighty Tiger Nation. So with that being said, man, y'all share these broadcasts and subscribe, man, because we keep it real on Tuff Tiger Talk. I'll holler at you on the next one. Much love. Peace. Go Tigers.
Subscribe to the Tuff Tiger Talk channel and stay up to date for all